Jai Hare Krishna Prabhu. Drive. Jai Hare Krishna. Dandavad Priyanana, Dandavad Srila Mai Prabhu. Jai Dev. Dana and Muktinath and our dear Maharaj is already here.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavad Pranams. Good morning, obeisances, Maharaj.
Good morning to the assembled Vaishnavas. Good morning and good evening, indeed. Muktinath Prabhu. Oh, look at that, in perfect studio.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat. So let us hear from you soon, Muktinath Prabhu. We are missing some news from Thailand. News from you from Thailand, anyhow. Happy to have you with us. You can think already what devotional lessons you've learned this week. But let us hear those presently. Let us now come and greet each other, because we have even further east than you. We have Rupanuga Prabhu, and we have yourself, and then coming west we have Priyanana Devidasi, and then further west is Jayadev Prabhu, and Chintamani, and Nadia Sundari together, and then further west, well, I'm not sure what's up and which is further east and west. I think Brazil is maybe, anyway, I'm not sure, but we have Lilamoy in Brazil, and then we have on a close third or fourth or fifth is Florida. We have both Dana and Praneshwari in Florida, and then far west, remote corner of the world, we have Jivana Devidasi in California. And Jagamohini Devidasi also in the far west too, Jagamohini on Facebook. And if there are others that I can't see, then please excuse if I haven't mentioned you by name. But here we are gathered at 4:02 in the morning in Villa Govinda time here in northern Italy. And it must be 7:32 in the morning, Navadip time. And I think we'll be making a little announcement next week, perhaps, that we'll keep Navadip time rather than Californian time for the back to basics in future, because in the world everyone's clocks don't change. Some change one day, some change another day, some go forward, some go back, and as we find out each time, then it becomes a little complicated. So we'll keep it to Navadip time, and we'll just fix what time that may be, and I think it will be half an hour after the present time. It may be, but we'll discuss this with Praneshwari and the devotees. Okay, that was a quick rundown of something as we're having devotees come and gather together. But first of all, let us give our obeisances to each other and our mini Vandana. So, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And these are obeisances are for you all, but also those of you who have joined us in the recorded version. You're very much with us too, and indeed to all devotees. Now, mini Vandanam, but it's still full. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Pitans Cha Om Agyanatimarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Prarayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurataje Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right, so recording just began just as we completed our Vandanam and our obeisances to each other. Aha, so if recording just began, I did mention just before, we're giving our obeisances to each other, including those who are seeing the recorded version, because you are with us and almost the same as when we're live. So obeisances to all the devotees, to each of you. And Dana is sending Hare Krishna, and she's sending her obeisances, flowers, hearts, and many sweet things. And Jayadev Prabhu, to everyone sending dandavats and all glories to the assembled devotees in Gurudev's English. Assembled devotees. Actually, assembled devotees in English at least. It's devotee and assembled. But Gurudev assembled devotee. Oh, now I got it wrong. Assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Good morning, good later in the morning, good evening, and good evening to each of you in turn. So I can open up the screen, as it were, and just ask for a contribution from anybody here. A contribution and then question, but contribution first. And may we ask, actually may we first ask Muktinath Prabhu, because I see he was seated in a place which looks almost like a recording studio. Are you in a recording studio? We need your sound, Prabhu. You need to open the microphone.
If you can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Dandavat to everyone. Dandavat Maharaj. Yes, I have in a room as a studio. I had a problem with the sound. So wait. My appreciation to everyone. I'm just trying to remember all the time devotees, and now I'm in Chiang Mai, and sometimes visit temple, Gupta Govardhan temple. Yeah, they devotees doing very nice service with Harinam, like few times maybe during the week, and like programs, so something like that. Very little news.
So my question to you, when we met just a little bit earlier on at the beginning of the program, was what have you learned in devotional service this last week?
maybe my little contribution is try to always remember that service is important, most important thing in a our life. So those who have service, luckiest devotees, and we always have to look in that direction. Yes, there is a service, there is some progress, some realization.
Jai.
And very nice things, not nice, it's like beautiful things that many programs, many Zoom sessions in YouTube, in Instagram, Maharaj, that you did available like few times in a week. That is very nourishing to see everyone.
Okay, Muktinath, very, very good. And by the way, I think most of you here do know Muktinath either directly or through the Zooms, etc., which is quite direct. But his nature is to serve. We're very happy to say he's always busy and he's capable. What he doesn't know, he learns, and so we can learn from that attitude. And as Guru Maharaj said, a servitor is welcome everywhere. And so just now he's rendering some service in Chiang Mai, helping with the Amir Sindhu Prabhu, right? With the stall, the shop, many things there. And keeping association.
The name of the shop of, I think, Sri Ganesh shop. Sri Ganesh.
Sri Ganesh. Okay.
Yes.
That's the name of the shop, Jai. All right, dear devotees, volunteers to share something, and I think Priyanana opened her camera, so I think she was preparing to speak with the microphone on.
Namaste, everyone. Yes, I was preparing to speak. Actually, I agree with Muktinath Prabhu about the service, because from my small experience, I think it's very important for the devotee to have some service. It's like some string for you to hold on to. Because your mind maybe can tell you different things, but if you have some service and you maybe have some blessings to stick to it, then you can start fighting maybe your mind. Oh, that's my own experience. Like if you need to do something, then you have to do it, whether you're in a good mood or in a bad mood. But actually, Maharaj, that's maybe contribution and a question also, because we hear many words from Srila Gurudev about like the real service comes from love and affection, and it's the labor of love, but it's not like, it sounds like it's not like obligatory, it comes from heart. And the devotees got inspired a lot by these words. But then you think, well, nothing could work like this, like, I mean, it's an old question, old dilemma. And you think like, well, in Navadvip or other temples, it's all kind of based on responsible people who just come day after day, whether I think they have inspiration or not. And like how to, I mean, ideally it's the same, and I believe that in time, if you follow properly, it becomes like this, like as Goswami Maharaj said, like you start feeling the taste and so on. So something that first you did from like some obligation, out of obligation, then you got the taste. But could you please maybe explain about these words of Srila Gurudev? Like first, everything comes out of love. You cannot like push or something. And the other part is like some things on a daily basis you have to do, or how to harmonize these things.
Well, I can give a contribution from one or two angles, but we can also have contributions from Jivanadidi and from Praneshwari Devirasi. She's a very good host, but she is a very capable presenter of clear thoughts, clear thinking in a practical world about devotion. We have evidence to support our statement. So, first of all, we can say that yes, everything is to come from love and affection. And what are we all? We are volunteers. We are coming voluntarily. No one is coming and saying, you must do this. Now, those who read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita know of King Birambir. He stole the books of the 6 Goswamis that the Goswamis had been written. He stole those books because his astrologer said, there's a great treasure passing through your kingdom on the back of a cart being pulled by some buffaloes or oxen. There's a great treasure. Anyway, King Birambir, who was, a little selfish and so arranged to steal this treasure, that King Birambir, when he became convinced by Srinivasacharya about, what is the treasure of Srimad Bhagavatam and the treasure of the message, that is to chant the holy names of the Lord. And then in his kingdom, he arranged that everybody should chant the names of the Lord. And I believe it was his successor who actually made a decree that if you don't chant your japa, you cannot stay in this kingdom. You can go and look for your fortune somewhere else. Now, in one sense, you can say, okay, so there, the kingdom, those residents there, the inhabitants with the King Birambir's kingdom passport, then you can only hold that passport if you chant your japa. So a little bit of, the law is applied there. But we are all volunteers. And volunteers means that we've come recognizing that it's something very good here. And we do want to come with this focus that we are coming towards the land of love, sweetness, beauty, and charm. But we also, that doesn't mean we just do anything. We have no regulation. We just do what we like, when we like. Then how will anything run? And if we look at a family, the wife is looking, generally the wife is looking after the kitchen and doing the cooking and so many things. It's all done out of love, but it's not that one day, I'm not feeling so much loving towards my husband and kids, I'm not going to cook today, and I'm not going to clean the kitchen today. And I think the loving relationship from the other side may diminish a little bit if that one-sided idea is, I'm not in love today, I'm not going to cook. I think that something may diminish in the relationship. But in a similar way, we have our loving relationship of responsibility with the Lord, where we may not be always feeling we're going to clean the kitchen, cook, etc. I did it yesterday and the day before and the day before. And as we've seen in Navadip, and it does surprise me, the cook is the cook 7 days a week. Now that doesn't leave any days for going off for a weekend, because as far as I know, there are 7 days in a week everywhere. And so 7 days a week, the cook is the cook. So responsible service, but with affection. And in the family also, I remember my mom, and she used to say, a woman's work is never done. You know, the father comes home from work, but the woman's work is never done. But she's also cooking. I mean, in that kind of family, then the wife is cooking 7 days a week. So we are also trying to be engaged always, but remembering what we're doing, which is, it's all out of affection. We've come voluntarily to this, and we know that unlike the material world where everything ends in naught, in our spiritual journey, everything ends with more beauty, sweetness, love, and charm, if we are sincere and follow things properly. Page after page, chapter after chapter, book after book, lecture after lecture of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj are promising this. Be sincere, and good things await. So your point about being busy, it is definitely good, because that keeps our mind doing things towards the household, but towards Krishna's household, Krishna's bigger plan, bigger house, bigger program. But responsible service was very much, as you know, encouraged by Srila Guru Maharaj. Have a service connection. Then you have to get up in the morning. You have to do this, you have to do that. So this is a little bit from me. And this week, may we ask Praneshwari first, because Jivana, she's there very patiently. And Jivana, I know she's always got a storehouse of things ready for us. Praneshwari also, no doubt. But as we court Muktinath Prabhu when he's present and in a good surrounding, let us catch also Praneshwari Devidasi as we can. And you're both ready to say some things on this subject matter, and I'm looking forward to hearing. We are looking forward to hearing. So Praneshwari, your microphone is off. I appreciate you are speaking, but I'll give the request to lovingly turn on the microphone.
My dear Maharaj, you're an example of Sevā, definitely. And that is an inspiration for all of us.
Hare Krishna.
What I feel when I see Muktinath is immediately that attraction to the quality of his service and his constant engagement. I saw him in the first Sri Govinda Farm Vaishnava Festival, and I think that he was doing Sevā 25 hours a day. That was incredible, wonderful. And I was thinking that if he's going to be there for the second Vaishnava Festival, our dear Lilamoy Prabhu from Brazil is going to have the wonderful opportunity to be his shadow. So wherever Muktinath goes, Lilamoy will be there, because he will learn that, because he already has it. He already possesses it in his heart. So both are these wonderful devotees that they give as much as they can. And Srila Gurudev, he has mentioned many times, and there is a special quote on Divine Guidance that where he says, we may feel or see outwardly that someone may be doing Sevā, service, but it is not always actual service. Sevā gives more Sevā. So why is more Sevā not coming? Seeing the symptoms, we can say that some were not doing actual Sevā. Therefore, after the disappearance of Srila Swami Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj, they underwent some difficulty. That part always keeps me focused, Maharaj. We have to engage in Sevā, and Sevā is our life. Without Sevā, we just wilt. We die completely. We need Sevā, and we need the association of the devotees to render that Sevā properly. We cannot say, I'm going to serve Lord Krishna. I'm going to serve our dear Shrimati Radharani. We cannot do that. But we can try, we can attempt to serve the Vaishnavas, to serve the devotees who are serving the Vaishnavas. I'm talking too much, Maharaj. It's Jivanas, Jivanas, Jivanas.
This is your time when you're meant to be talking, Praneshri Devirasi. This is your talking slot.
My talking slot is finished because our dear Jivana is here, and we had to take advantage of that because she cannot join us on Saturdays. And actually, now that I see Jivana, all the week, Maharaj, since last week, I've been thinking and thinking and thinking about gratitude, how to express gratitude, because it has to be deep in our heart that we have to be grateful for everything that comes to us, because it's a gift from heavens. It's Guru Dev, it's Lord Krishna who is giving us everything that comes to us. The beautiful things we are grateful for, the sad things, maybe at the beginning we have some resistance, and then we understand, he sent me this because I had to learn from it. So it's a lesson, it's a teaching. And that is also part of that baggage that you keep collecting and you carry everywhere, because our experiences will help others. The perspective that we get through the Shastras, through listening to our Vaishnavas, our wonderful Guru Varga, that will mold our heart in order for us to share. The whole idea is to share everything that is coming to us. We cannot keep it just like, okay, secluded there, it's only mine, it's only for me. No, you are being used to spread. So according to our own capacity, we just share that comes to our heart. Maharaj, I'm sweating. It's Jivana's turn. Dana pranams.
Dandavat, Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj. They will be smiling to hear your words. Jivana, you also need to turn on your microphone kindly. Thank you, Praneshri Devirasi. Hari Bol.
Hi, Praneshri, that was wonderful. And Muktinath, that was so wonderful. This is the great mercy of this Zoom call, that we get to have this amazing association of everybody. I'm so astonished. And I really like, of course, the service. There's just no other way to say service is the best. And even when we see like Praneshri was saying, when you see someone like Muktinath or Leela Moy, other devotees, when they're doing their service, you can see how grateful you feel. She also mentioned gratitude, and I was thinking that, you feel so grateful that these devotees are there and setting an example. And when you see someone who regularly, you can see that, the responsible service, when someone just doesn't give up their service. I was thinking of Adi Keshava here in SoCal, because he does the breakfast offering here in the morning on Mondays. And then one time there was this terrible storm, and a tree fell on the road, and he couldn't drive his van. The tree was there. There was no way to get around it. He got out of his van, climbed over the tree and walked the rest of the way to the ashram so he could do his service. And I thought, that is so beautiful. And so that really gave me a good example of what we're talking about for service, that people just don't give it up no matter what. And, I don't have a very good service attitude myself. So I really try to be around those devotees that do have that service attitude. And like Praneshri says, be really grateful for their association and their service, and try to do like what she's saying, try to emulate, try to kind of shadow them, pitter patter behind them as much as you can without driving them nuts. That's an important part. And I think with, I like what Gurudev said somewhere, and I probably told you all this before, that Gurudev said to try and do, he mentioned it in regards to chanting your rounds, but I think it can go to everything, to do it with faith and honor. And he said, affection will follow. So like they're saying, if we continue with this, and Priyananda brought up that really good point, if we continue to try and do this service no matter what, eventually Krishna will enter our heart. Eventually our hearts will open up for Krishna and the devotees and Gurudev, so we can have some feeling of affection for them. And I think that's what I had about that. I love that you brought up about King Virambir. That story is so amazing, because, you know, when was Narottam, Shamananda, and yes, that they went, and I just can't even conceive of how fully flattened out, devastated they must have been when those books were stolen. I thought, just to even be able to tolerate that, the depth of courage and the depth of devotion a devotee would have to actually make it through such an event and then come out so wonderfully. So that was really beautiful. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think these points everybody brought up are very illustrious, beautiful, and inspiring.
And the thing is that Srinivas, they did not know what was going to be the outcome. Right. I mean, the books were lost. They tried and tried, and they didn't know the outcome. We now know the outcome. So when we read it, you know, we're building up to the solution. Like every movie is going to have that result. We know that the good guy is going to come out on top. But in the real world, when something is stolen, when we don't know exactly what's going to be the outcome until the outcome has happened, then looking back, and we can say this, you know, these things took place. And this point of gratitude, we've kind of gently not slipped down, but slipped along to the category of gratitude as well as of service. But here we've had a lot of guests this week. It's been a very active week of people coming in and going out. But when we see, and so we have to try to talk to them in a way that they can relate and understand. But it's very difficult for us not to read Chaitanya Charitamrita in the mornings. You know, we want to sort of adjust we do adjust the evening program a little bit from what we're normally reading. But it's very difficult not to read Chaitanya Charitamrita in the morning. And then it really dawned on me, because we see how you really do have to have faith to read these books. And it dawned on me quite sort of, it's kind of out of nowhere, and not while I was reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, that how is it that we've got this opportunity to have at least appreciation for Chaitanya Charitamrita? It doesn't mean we understand everything or anything. I mean, who knows? Whatever we think we understand, we might well, you know, find out that, well, we didn't really understand, did we? Because in our life, we can say so many things evolved. I mean, even in regular life, from our, 5-year-old conception to 10-year-old to 15 to 20 to 25, etc. And now we're over 25. But anyhow, so in our devotional life, there are things which we thought we knew, and then, like this. So how is it that somebody, like us, we do have some appreciation, and then we have to understand it is the grace of the Vaishnavas. Everything has come by the grace of the Vaishnavas, and we need to have that gratitude to all that have imbued in our heart this appreciation for just to know that there is these pure books, the pure personalities, as the pure activity, the pure destination, the pure everything, the pure sound. And to know all these things, just to have appreciation for that, that is a great value. And as Goswami Maharaj points out with a sloka, that there are two things in this world that we should always be very alert about for as long as we're in the world. One is that we lose our faith, and the other is that we get swallowed by Maya, that we get overcome by Maya. So we'll be very cautious to guard our faith, and we'll be very cautious not to play with matches, not to play with fire. So that point of gratitude also very, very relevant for us. We must remember what we've come to, and we must remember, how it is we've got any appreciation for this, and it's all come by grace. And we're singing Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Karo Edasi. Each day, there we're asking to Guru to help us, to give us this opportunity, to give us the strength. And we sing, oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakur, to all the devotees. And please teach us the proper 6 senses to control, 6 bad qualities to avoid, not to relish, and the 6 bad activities to avoid, and the 6 good activities that will give us strength. Praying to the Vaishnavas for that. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur repeatedly in his song saying, I have no strength alone. By my own power, I have no strength. And in the Gopinath songs, Gopinath,
Oh my God.
listen to my prayer. Gopinath, Amar Nivedana Shuno. I'm making my petition to you. Please listen. And then through there are so many verses. One of them, I've tried myself in so many ways. I understand I have no power by myself. I surrender unto you. You can do anything. You know everything. You know how to purify everything. I've tried by myself and thinking that by my power I can come to you, but it's not possible. So to have gratitude for everything that's brought us to the association and to the association of these of Mahaprabhu and these super masters who've come from the upper world to here. We are not here for pretending, we're here for reality. And this is the age where we've got such a wonderful connection to the highest plane, and we need to hold on tight, keep our faith guarded, and engage nicely in the good activities, leave aside the bad activities, and try to be civilized human beings. Hare Krishna. And behind Praneshwari is the Govardhan temple in Navadip, Govardhan, Giriraj Govardhan, in the center of Govindakund.
Beautiful.
I'll have to pin it to see. Oh, yes. Yes. Hare Krishna.
And you see the boat, Maharaj.
Hare
It's
Krishna.
a beautiful boat with a swan.
Right. The first boat was also a beautiful boat with a swan, but I couldn't believe it went rotten. And apparently the boat builders, they use like cheap wood instead of using proper like marine wood. And I think this boat is made of fiberglass. Is that right?
I think yes. I think yes.
Now, the Govindakund has a little leela itself with boats, so Hare Krishna. Okay, so yes, so let us engage in devotional service with love and affection, but with duty. Raga Marg doesn't mean we do anything and everything. And not only that, we are not qualified to do everything spontaneously. We hope to be engaged by those senior devotees who are qualified to do that. And through service to them, then these things happen. Not that, suddenly we come, as happened. We saw devotees coming from our sister mission where there were, some quite enforced rules and regulations, and especially about the chanting, the japa, and so many things. And then they came to our mission, and then they said, oh no, we're Raganu, we don't have to do this. But we didn't see that had a good result, by the way, for those who sort of feel it and think that they can do anything and everything. And I won't give you a list of all the anything and everything that devotees, really misusing Guru Maharaj, then doing things which everybody knows is wrong. But then we can say that that is human nature, and that is the nature of, well, I don't want to say dogs, but can be of dogs, because we had some dog experience here, and the dog tries to see what he can get away with. He knows what's right. And one thing about a dog is you can tell what he's thinking by his expression. His ears go back and the way he looks and everything. He doesn't have to speak, Italian or English or any other language. The dog you can see. But he's trying to get away with what he can. And us humans, we're not so much different. We were all children once, weren't we? No, I was never a child. I was born this way. Oh, okay. Anyway, and let us think also about our association at different points of our life. And we can also be grateful to everything that's brought us to Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Any volunteers? Actual volunteers. Jiva.
Maharaj, in the chat, there is an excerpt of Centenary Anthology. If we could invite Jivana to read it, that would be a gift.
A gift? Sure. Now, Jivana, I think your not only I think your microphone is off. So if you are speaking, we can't hear.
Okay.
Oh. Do you want to replace it? Do you have it, Jivana D?
I have it. It's in the chat, right?
It's in the chat.
I can read from Jayadev Prabhu. Says, Dandavat, all glories to the assembled devotees. He's a very good reader, Jayadev Prabhu. Okay, here's the, what's that?
He is, yes.
Isn't he? I know, right?
Yeah.
Sanskrit and everything. Let's see, excerpt, Anthology, Chapter 8. Let's see, I have to download it, so we'll see. Okay. A Wonderful Touch by Srila Bhakti Rakshitadev Goswami Maharaj. It cannot be denied that a kind of energy is necessary to maintain one's present position. Some sort of energy is necessary for that, but then we are to give some extra push forwards in order to go ahead, and that is all important. A seeker after the truth will search after newer and newer planes, and that will be considered as living and accommodating. We are to become more and more accommodating, earnest, and eager. And from Bhagavad Gita, Svadharme Nidanam Shreya Paradharmo Bhayavaha. That's the 3rd chapter, 35th verse. The advice is given Try to maintain your position, even at the cost of your life. Then at the next point, go ahead, march on. Why was it first advised to maintain your present position? So that you may not fall back, but that does not mean you are not to make progress in the front. Swadharme nidhanam shraya. Even at the cost of your life, try to firmly maintain your position. Does not mean you are not to go ahead. Sarvadharmam prityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, verse 66. Give up all considerations and take the risk of marching onwards. Only to help this was the first advice given. First, at any cost, you must maintain your position and then march onwards. These are relative and absolute considerations. A living spiritual conception must be of that type. The dire necessity is that in the background, we address the question of how to maintain and improve our present position. Does somebody else want to read for the next question?
Jivana, Jivana, Jivana.
I'm going to have to take her out later, okay? So, devotee, in the spiritual world, does everyone hold the position of a guru for those who enter? Srila Guru Maharaj, of course. And whatever little help we will receive from anyone, we must be grateful to him. A person with a good temperament must be thankful to all. Receiving even slight help, he will feel, yes, I am very thankful for your guidance. We are to learn the theory and science of gratitude. Oh, wow, okay. I am grateful to you and to everyone in the environment. The very domain is of that character. Everyone thinks himself to be a thief. I am a trespasser. Only by the grace of the environment can I have a position here. They are all well-wishers except for myself. This should be the temperament. He will be busy and sometimes forgetful of himself in the intensity of his service. Okay, there's two more verses. Vaikuntara Pritivyadi Sakala Chinmaya. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, 5th chapter. We are to think the environment of that land in which I aspire to live is made of better stuff than I am. We are to enter into a super subjective domain. The attitude of all the newly recruited persons there should be, I am not of subjective character. I am of marginal potency, tatasta. But I am receiving permission to enter the super subjective area where everything holds a higher position than myself. Everyone there is of that consciousness. The air, the earth, the trees, etc., all hold a higher position than myself. But still, I have been given permission by the supreme authority to wander here. Only I have been given some service, and I'm eager to render that service to this land. With this attitude in the background, one should live there. And in the foreground, one will become accustomed to discharging his particular duty. I have come, and I am treading on a soil whose intrinsic value is really superior. The last paragraph is, a child reveres his mother, but he may be taken on her lap. Such is the example of our situation when we enter Vaikuntha and Goloka. The whole atmosphere is higher than myself and is to be revered, but still they have embraced me and taken me in their lap, Swarup Shakti, and I have been asked to do some duty there. The whole environment is to be revered, and I am allowed to live there only as a matter of grace, not as a matter of right. We are tatasta, and as a matter of right, we may be cast in Brahmaloka, the marginal potency. So we must become conscious of this fact. Before enlisting our name in the Krishna conscious school, we must have this primary knowledge. We are having the chance to enter where? In a revered land, God's throne. Only for a particular service am I entering the temple which holds a superior position. Wholly for service am I entering, and by their gracious nature, they are drawing me there. I am being taken on my mother's lap. I take her feet dust upon my head, but she is taking me, including my feet, upon her lap.
Thank you so much, Jivana Didi.
And thank you to Praneshwari, to Praneshwari, yes, but to Priya Nana, also beginning with P, to Priya Nana for pointing out this excerpt and sharing this excerpt. Because really, this is, when we hear about gratitude, for me, this is like the classic excerpt, when we must learn the science and practice. Are those the words? The science and practice. We must learn the science and practice of gratitude.
Wow.
Hare Krishna.
The theory and science of gratitude.
Okay, many thanks. Yes, theory, the science of gratitude. Hare Krishna. And Gangalila Devidasi joined. Radha Sundari also, a second Jayadev joined. And Suresh Krishna Prabhu joined, Dayan Nitai Prabhu. And I think we said good morning or good evening to everybody else who is here. Hare Krishna. And Jai Gauranga Prabhu was with us, but not just now. He does have responsible service, brahmachari in the temple, and he's going to be a brahmachari in the Chiang Mai temple for a little while too, and then brahmachari in the Italy temple, brahmachari in the London temple. But he's not here to hear us.
But he will hear the recording, Maharaj, and he will be so embarrassed. Happy that he was not here.
Govinda, Govinda. Anyway, at a young life, he's trying hard. And this is very noteworthy. It's difficult. It seems a little difficult to understand the real nature of the youth mentality with all the, being brought up with all the things of the world which we never had. We can only think our lives and how we are affected by things, by physical things that are around us. What to speak of all these subtle things, or gross subtle things. I don't know what to say. So to survive that young time, it is a little difficult to survive in a good consciousness. It again depends on association. Everything depends on association. You get good association, then you'll be a little bit busy also doing things which are good instead of getting entangled in the negative things. And there is an expression that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So to keep busy, it is definitely good, but to be kept busy in a good direction, because we're always doing something. And this also, Krishna is very smart, If you want to hear from someone who's very smart, he's called Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, he's explaining that we cannot do nothing for even a moment. The life means there's going to be activity. So we have to do something, but do it in the right direction. And so we need direction. And this is the point, that we need direction. We need proper engagement. We've tried to solve it by ourselves and do good things lifetime after lifetime. But here we are in the world. We haven't solved birth and death, old age and disease, and we haven't solved how to enter into the living plane, which is full of consciousness, which we just heard such a beautiful description of from Srila Guru Maharaj and read by Jivana. And if we want to go there, then everything we have to understand. We need grace from above. We need direction. And that direction itself is grace from above. And we have lots of examples in the world. But I was just thinking of one person, always talking about the spiritual world, this, that, and the other. But then when you extend some like tips from Guru Maharaj or from Gurudev, some tips that we've heard, I mean, some guidance that we've heard, then they are not receptive. Instead of, I'm a free thinker, I'm this. Oh, okay. Then you think, oh dear, lost for this lifetime. Hopefully they'll appreciate some prasadam. Hopefully they'll appreciate some holy name, singing on whatever level, but they'll hear the holy name, they'll honor some prasadam. Hare Krishna. So everywhere, if we can get good association, if we can get good guidance and realize that we need guidance, and that realization is also from the Vaishnavas. Until I read Srila Prabhupada's books, didn't know the right things to ask, the right things, the direction in life. We're just going with the flow because that's all we've learned. And as I've said before, nobody ever said anything about Bhagavad Gita in all my years of schooling. Nobody ever mentioned anything about such topics, what to speak of the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. I wonder where Rupa Nuga Prabhu is, somewhere mysterious. You've got that setting on your phone where everything else is a fog, I think. Add spotlight, let us see. Let us see you more clearly. Rupa Nuga Prabhu, a few words from you. You are also very able to say words.
I'm very able to say words, but I'm a little distracted at the moment. I'm up at my shack up on the mountain, and there's rain coming and there's a big hole in the roof. Mundane matters. But I put it all aside for your spiritual enlightenment.
Well, the spiritual nourishment from the gathering of devotees. And that's...
Yeah, yes.
Here you have an example that when something has to be done, it's going to take our attention and we have to do it. We can't leave a big hole in the roof until tomorrow and it's going to rain. So, spiritual life. If a hole appears in the roof of our spiritual life, we should give it straight away, whether we want to or not. Because something unwanted is going to seep through. So a good example for us all, Rupa.
Yes.
Yes.
And which cabin are you in? Because I think you have more than one. You're in Thailand, are you?
No, I'm back at the hamlet in New Kai, and I live in a cabin there. I live in the boat in Brunswick Harbour, and between times I live in Thailand on the beach. So this is one of my many abodes.
Wow.
They're all in very...
Behind me. Yeah, it's behind me. It's a very humble shack, and they all are, but I'm happy.
Yes.
Material. I worked hard for material benefit, and it means nothing in the end, except one's happiness and spiritual life. I agree.
Right. And Rupa Nuga Prabhu is seeing everything in the whole basic. You're there in Australia, you've seen the world, and now seeing everything, then you understand. Here we are with the message of Mahaprabhu, the message of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. This is worthwhile, and everything else is either social or kind of looking, searching something, but without substance. And when we come in touch with Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu's teachings through the Vaishnavas, through the Parampara, then we're getting really something tangible in our life. So we are encouraged also, Rupa, who are not 16 years old and coming, you're in the almost years. and come. Okay.
Yeah.
Jai. And anything you'd like to share with us, Rupanuga Prabhu? Some insight or some spark that Krishna allowed you to think, oh, so Krishna is everywhere. Anything from this week?
Well, from this week, I know that I'm not very far off from being in your enlightened presence next month. So I'm very excited about that. Heading over to Chiang Mai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes. And
Yeah,
look,
for the trip.
I'm looking forward. Lots of devotees are coming from all over planet Earth.
Yes, wonderful. Looking for the true connection, apart from this one in cyberspace.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we can chant more. And when we go somewhere, like we were in Brazil, Leelamoy Prabhu knows, then giving more emphasis when we're together, we can chant more kirtan and try to share the flavor of the bhajans, and we can honor prasadam together. Two things, Zoom, a little difficult to do. But yes, thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
It's a long way ahead. I have some responsible duties before that time, and so we're going to be also busy right up to coming to catch the plane. So yeah, forward to that, Rupanuga Prabhu. Hare Krishna. All right. Suresh Krishna, who was with us a little while before, he also is coming. And so you'll be meeting 10 devotees from Latvia, amongst others.
Wow.
10 devotees coming. All right. So, dear devotees, wonderful reading, wonderful excerpt. And let us all try to have responsible service, which does include chanting japa. Even Mahaprabhu said, chant your japa, the Prabhu kohe kohelan e mahamantra, iha japa, that whatever you do, then you continue, take the name in proper measure, which is the japa side, and engage always in remembering to chant and chanting the holy name. Whether you are sleeping, eating, waking, walking, driving, maybe don't chant japa when you're driving, please. Other things we can do, hearing, etc. All right, dear devotees, let us all continue our days or our evenings, and we'll meet again very soon. And in the meantime, wishing you all a successful Sevā week. So Jai to our glorious, wonderful, everything, full gratitude and Jais too. Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rokok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. To Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai. To Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. To Nama Charja Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. To the holy Dham from which everything has come, Sri Navadeep Dham Ki Jai. Sri Navadeep Dham Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. And Navadeep, deities of Guru Maharaj, served by Guru Maharaj Gurudev. Saparika Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar Ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. And all the present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnava Namo Namah.
Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
Hare
Jai.
Jai.
And we'll see you soon also, Muktinath Prabhu.
Yes, hope so. Dandavad.
And Sevā Rupa Devidasi and Jai Gauranga Prabhu. Oh, Jai Gauranga Prabhu is here. Okay. And Radha Sundari, maybe she can take a short flight across from Mayapur to Chiang Mai. Let us see. And Dana, we are waiting for your arrival somewhere. Meeting you in Italy or in somewhere, wherever the place somewhere is. But I'm sure when you come to be with the devotees, you'll think, why I didn't do this before? You'll feel at home, I'm sure. Jai Gangalila Devidasi, with her reminding us of India, Bharatvarsha, the chosen land of the Lord to reveal mostly his pastimes. All right. Nitai Gaur Pemanandi, Hari Hari.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you all. Nitai, Gauranga Gaur.
Yeah, Radha Sundari, so happy to see you. Oh, she disconnected. Muktinath Prabhu and Leela Moy Prabhu, you are going to be friends just like when two kids go to kindergarten and they meet for the first time and the second day they are the best friends forever. You're going to be like that. Thank you so much. So inspiring. Thank you so much. Bless you all. Hare Krishna. Dandava pranams.
Dandavad.